Well, it's interesting that Floxx has inspired feedback not just from users but from the world at large. It's a sort of almost a very provocative business. So the users directly love it. You know, the students, whether they're men, they're women, they love the notion that they have a way at a location to get a sense of what's going on. They get a sense of what locations are interesting, where the activity's happening. They're just very enthusiastic about the notion of Floxx. What's interesting to me, though, is how many other people see so much potential for Floxx. Because what you've had is you've had this general notion that somehow everything we do on the web should tie to locations. And so you've had these sort of early stage businesses that are experimenting with being about a location, but they don't actually have a reason for being. I mean, take Foursquare. Foursquare is a very arbitrary business in the sense that you check in, you check out, but it doesn't mean anything. There's no reason for its activity. And so it's almost a fad. What makes Floxx very interesting is one of the first meaningful location activities. It basically says this location has this wall of chatter going on between girls and boys, between men and women, and it's about exactly what you think it's about. It's about flirting, it's about spotting pretty people, it's about the prospect of meeting people you find attractive. That's very exciting. It's a meaningful location-based activity. And so a lot of people look at it and say, exactly, a killer app for location.
So we've just recently launched a brand new website from the feedback we got from the original site, and a lot of that was really to allow users to have a lot quicker experience. The user interface has been updated, but also we're in a prime time with students being back in the exam halls and libraries and revising again. So we really want to create Floxx as a really nice community for somebody to go on, find their university, click on it, and then be able to see a feed purely for their university. And that's really sort of how Floxx started back when it was FitFinder. And we've just made it an all-round nicer, clean website rather than something that was knocked together in 24 hours, which was what FitFinder was. And it's really more just a whole round more polished product. So we've noticed that a lot of the people using the site have given us feedback and said, look, there are all these locations that are on the map that people see, whether it be a tube station or whether it be a library or whatever, but there's this level above that where these locations are actually connected. So these locations are connected in a network. So we are bringing in networks to the site. So for example, somebody can see the University College London network, and that means that all the buildings on the map that are linked to University College London, be it on the campus or slightly further away or whatever, or even a nightclub that is popular there, can all be under one roof. And it doesn't just apply to universities, it might apply to a London Underground network that has all the train stations on, might have airports. We've even got a surfing network where it has all the best beach spots for people to go on. And so really it's the evolution of that came from something that a number of people mentioned, and we're just putting it into the site. So we've got some more exciting things. We continue to get feedback, and we'll continue to have more exciting things to come. So a big piece of feedback we've got is people want to take this on the go, and that means developing a decent mobile site. But the advent of mobile apps and the iPhone App Store, Android, BlackBerry, apps becoming more and more part of something that's in daily lives means that we have to go that way. It's great that these mobile smartphones have GPS in them. It makes it really easy for somebody to find the nearest locations to them. So we've got to play off existing technology that's already there to allow people to connect with each other, to see locations around them, and really just create a really nice user experience by using other apps and making sure that their phone has a Floxx app. Mainly about spotting people. So that means if you're sitting in a cafe, you're doing a bit of people watching, you're in a library, you're bored, you see somebody, you want to comment about it. It's really mainly about that. But we're also looking at other things that people are using the service for. And for example, when you want to comment about a location you're in, people are using it for other things. So we're always open to seeing which way the users start to take our idea. And Facebook started with one idea, it ended up completely another place. And that line from A to Z is not straight, and that's the same with us. We're only at the beginning. So we've got to work out what our users want to use the service for, and we'll adapt it to that. So basically, it's very simple. You choose your location, you see something or see somebody, You choose it, type in where you are, type in a sub-location, and then you basically write a 140 character message, much like on a short tweet, and you post it. But the way it's categorized, it's very nicely categorized into that location. So you can browse around a map or whatever, and you can see the point on the map where that place is, that post has been plotted. And you can either view other locations that are nearby or other locations in that network and things like that. And it's almost like having a feed above a building, and you can see all the activity above that building. So it's really very simple. Yeah, I think it's a great time at the moment to develop an internet business, because you see the likes of Facebook, Twitter, and hopefully Floxx in the future can really build up from something that was built in the back of a bedroom to something that employs several hundreds of people. And I think it's really shown people that the sort of personalities that go into that. You need the drive, you need the determination, you need the advice from other people. So I'd say to anybody trying to do that, to firstly make sure you enjoy what you're doing, and that's the main thing, because if you're working 24 hours a day, 7 days a week on it, that's the main thing. You've got to enjoy it. But also to find the right people, network, meet other people that are in that industry, because you never know, it might lead to investment, other contacts, partnerships, and that sort of become very useful in the future. Yeah, I am happy. I still think we've got a long way to go though, and it's such especially an internet business, the key thing is to iterate and iterate. So just keep finding out what works. If it works, keep it. If it doesn't work, get rid of it. But don't take too long over working out what works and what doesn't. So it's I'm very pleased with where it's going, and it's a lot of hard work, but it's so much fun. It's the greatest thing ever.
So I'm always working on more than one project at a time. Usually the way my life works is I've got one investment that's active, one investment that I'd like to make, and one investment that I'm sort of retiring, that I'm graduating onto other people. I'm in that situation now. My prior investment, Bright Pearl, has now graduated. It's got commercial investors. It's becoming a mature business. Floxx is my active investment, and I have one that I'm very seriously looking at, and you'll know as soon as everybody else does what it is.